We've had our fair share of differences, like all the times I've kicked you off the couch in my bed, or when I'm yelling at you because Maple wakes me up in the morning at 6 a.m. I can't guarantee that I won't freak out once you have kids and they ignore me with all the crying. When you left for college, I was so happy that I would have the house to myself and someone be an only child. Little did I know I no longer had someone to blame when something went wrong. This is the only time that I'll ever say this, but I actually like when you come home because I have someone to blame again and it takes the heat off me. Lauren, you've always been a protective older sister who looks out for me like it should be. You've always had my back, you take me shopping, and you and Lee keep bugging me to come stay with you, and I promise that I will. You do so much for me and I never say thank you. I love having you as a sister, and even though I'm not the easiest person to get along with, you still put up with me. People sometimes say that they're losing a sister to the man that she marries, but I'm not losing a sister, I'm gaining a brother. Lee, I'm so happy that you're officially joining our family. Just like Lauren, you always buy me things, and I'm a sucker for sparkly flip-flops. And anyone who wakes up at 6 in the morning to take Maple out is definitely a keeper. You guys are the perfect match. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lindsay, Lee's sister, if you don't know me. I just want to say that Lee and Lauren, today is so meaningful for our family, and we're so incredibly happy for you. Lee, ever since I was little, I looked up to you and I admired you. Wanted to be just like you. I even had to order everything you ordered in a restaurant, whether I liked it or not. And I can't tell you how much I have always looked up to you and your joy for life and the way that you're always able to make the best out of any situation. There's so many qualities in you that I admire, and most of all, I want to say that once you met Lauren, I've never seen you so happy, and there was this calm centeredness that came over you, and I knew that you had truly found your soulmate. And in life, all you want is for your family to be happy, and the happiness that you two have is so special. It's so amazing, and it's precious, and it'll last forever, and I'm so happy for you.
Okay, no crying for this. I'm the first, I think the first non-family member to speak, so I'm going to first start by thanking Nancy and Brent and Franny and Joel. This is really a beautiful weekend. Thank you so much for having everyone. I'm very much enjoying myself. I know everyone is. You know, I am one of Lee's oldest friends. I think that's why I get to stand up and hear the oldest. But I found out yesterday that I'm not the only friend that you let play with your G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. As Andrew Driscoll told me, he was on that. Anyways, you know, I am one of Lee's oldest friend, and one of the things I know from growing up with him is that he has just about every type of friend you can imagine. You know, throughout middle school, high school, even elementary school, I think every kind of social clique that you saw in the Breakfast Club, you know, Lee was friends with them. And to give you an example, you know, me and my friends, we would play like Warhammer fantasy games. Lee would be the first one knocking on my door to join. And he certainly was friends with the jocks. He played the, you know, soccer and all the cool sports. He was friends with the cool kids. He had parties at his house for lunch. And I definitely can't forget the theater type kids. We would film movies like Scarface movies in the basement, you know, shooting each other up. And this was for weekends, I mean, well into high school. So. You know, and I know this continued into college. Lee Snyder told me yesterday that in college they called him the social director because he brought so many different groups together. And what I remember about all this growing up, you know, when we were younger, now we all get along quite well. When we were younger, one group of friends might say to Lee, "Why are you friends with these other kids? They're weird, they're this, that." Lee always gave the same answer. He said, "I can cope with a lot of people." I can't tell you how many times I heard that. from like the age of 6. I knew I had to run home and ask my parents, what does cope mean? So I figured it must have been your parents that put it in your head at some point, but that was always your answer. And God knows, I'm sure friends asked it about me, but I didn't worry because I know what he'd say. Well, you cope with a lot of people, Steve's all right. You know, so now, just fast forwarding to when I met Lauren, the first time was at my wedding, and as you guys are finding out, you don't get to really meet people. The second time we got to take this really nice day trip to Monterey. And I've heard some great stories about Monterey this weekend. I'm looking at Harry Sauer here. But anyway, Monterey is a very romantic place, and I noticed right away something different. Lindsay, you mentioned it. It was this calm centeredness. I think that's how you put it. I just noticed Lee was acting very naturally, very comfortable. He wasn't forcing anything. Everybody that knows him knows he's, you know, he likes to take control of the amusement, you know, going around. This, you know, he didn't feel that need. He was just very, very Lee. And later that night, my wife was asking me, do you think Lee and Lauren are going to go all the way? And I realized, you know, yeah, I really do. I was right. And I said I did, and the reason was because I realized Lauren was a young lady that Lee, he wasn't coping. He's not coping anymore. This is someone he can just be with. Ever since I've known him, he's coping with everyone. With Lauren, he can be himself. And so, like Lindsay said, that makes me incredibly happy as a friend. You know, to know that you can be with someone. And so I'm going to do 2 quick toasts here. The first is to Lee. You found the woman of your dreams. You never have to cope again. And the second is for Lauren. Let's all hope Lauren can learn to cope. Anybody else would like to do a toast?